And thank you for joining us. I want to thank Senators Murray, Shaheen, and Duckworth for their relentless work on women's reproductive health care and for working so hard to fund our government. Today, Republicans will be called on to answer a very simple question. Do they support Americans' families' access to in vitro fertilization or not? Sadly, as we learned this year, access to IVF can no longer be taken for granted. From the moment the MAGA Supreme Court eliminated Roe, the hard right made clear they'd keep going. In Alabama this year, we saw just how vulnerable IVF has become as the next target of the ultra-conservatives. Since then, we've seen Republicans tie themselves in knots over support of IVF, claiming they support access to IVF, support insurance paying for IVF treatment, support American families, and yet they keep voting no. I mean, it's not hard. Look at the conservative groups like the Heritage Foundation and some of the main groups that led the charge to strike down Roe. They speak plainly and clearly to say IVF is their next target. These are groups Republicans listen to and who sets their agenda. These are the groups that want to insert government into IVF decisions and tell a woman and her doctor what she can and cannot do when it comes to IVF. And that's why today the Senate will vote again on the Right to IVF Act. It's time for Republicans to live up to their words. It's time to vote. Republicans can claim they're pro-family. Well, there's nothing more pro-family than IVF. Our bill makes IVF a basic right for all. It assures insurance companies cover IVF, making it more accessible for millions more Americans to expand their families, something their own presidential nominee, their self-proclaimed leader on fertilization, agrees. So let's give the Republican senators another chance. Apparently, some of the Republican colleagues have forgotten about this vote 3 months ago. The senator from Oklahoma recently claimed there's never been a vote taken on protecting access to IVF. That's astounding. A vital protection for families nationwide, they can't even remember it. Well, today we're going to jog their memories. It was astounding to watch them claim, of course they support families, of course they support IVF, just not enough to actually vote to protect it. So today our Republican colleagues will get a second chance, either stand with American families struggling with infertility or stand with Project 2025 in the quest to roll back all reproductive freedom. And while working to protect American families, we're also working to avert a shutdown in less than 2 weeks. Democrats do not want a shutdown. The only way to avert a shutdown is to reach a bipartisan, bicameral agreement. However, the House is simply choosing to waste time. Tomorrow, Speaker Johnson's reportedly going to hold a vote on his 6-month CR. The only thing bipartisan about it is that both Republicans and Democrats hate that idea. I urge the House to be serious, come to the table, work together to reach a bipartisan agreement with the other leaders. We don't have time to spare. Senator Murray's been a leader on both the issues I spoke about. I'm proudly turning the podium over to her.
Yes. Thank you. And yes, we are going to have